Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of TRUUU Podcast. Today we are talking about our mutual appreciation of video games.
Yes, and our hates of video games, the things we don't like about certain video games as well.
For sure. Basically, our likes, our dislikes, what consoles we think are the best, what games we think are the best, what stuff we think sucks, and our obsession with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, so if you're the type that does not like video games, has absolutely no interest, probably not the podcast for you. But if you do like video games, well, buckle up.
Yeah, sure.
On that note.
Hope you enjoy it. Take a listen. So one thing that Drea and I are really into, to a certain level, not as much as maybe some guys are, but we are pretty into video games. I think that we could both agree.
As much as well, I don't want to stereotype actually. Well, whatever. Yeah, we're into it.
Yeah, we're fairly into it. Like I spend a good amount of time playing video games. We both do in certain aspects.
Yeah, I feel like I used to spend a significant of time playing video games like when I was younger, and I just have fallen off the wagon recently just because I'm so busy.
Yeah, it's hard to do it now.
But I still enjoy it very much.
Yeah, for sure. So how we got into video games for me is, I had two brothers, have two brothers. I didn't have them. Currently have two brothers. And that was kind of always just a big part of what we would do and when we were hanging out as kids. My grandparents at their house, for whatever reason, had an NES, which is the original Nintendo.
Did they buy it for you guys specifically?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just know that it was at their house, it was upstairs, and we'd go upstairs and they had this box full of NES cartridges for different games, and we'd play. We'd play the OG Mario games, we'd play there was a version of Wheel of Fortune, an ancient Wheel of Fortune that we just did not really know how to play at all because we know about any kind of real trivia.
Yeah, true. Well, Wheel of Fortune is not trivia.
Is it not?
No, that's Jeopardy.
I don't know.
Wheel of Fortune is the words
all
that you
guess. Oh, right. The phrases.
Yeah.
You're right. Well, we wouldn't know how to do that either. So point being is that we were horrible. So we had that, and then at home, for whatever reason, we had the original Game Boy.
Okay.
Which...
Whose was it? Okay.
I have no idea. Maybe my dad's. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I just remember from a young age having the NES in my grandparents' house, having the original Game Boy with the original Tetris, which I don't know if I've ever told you this. I know I mentioned it to someone recently where the original Tetris game, it comes from...
Yeah, Dutch.
No.
Oh.
Not Dutch. It's Russian.
Russian. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, you told me.
So you see all when the game comes up, you see all these very stereotypical Russian structures and whatever from I think the capital or whatever. So not a lot of people know that, I guess.
Yeah, there's some trivia for you Jeopardy fans.
Trivia. But yeah, so I had the choices of either getting interested a little bit in video games or being really bored.
Right, just being excluded.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, for me, it was complicated because I didn't really have anyone. I didn't have brothers, so it wasn't people were actively playing video games around me. And also growing up, all my friends were girls, and they just weren't into that.
Yeah.
But my grandparents on my mom's side, they gave us a Super Nintendo, not the original Super Nintendo, but the one after that. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know what model it is, but we had one of those, me and my sister, and we only had 4 games. We had Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday, which was lit. If anyone has ever played that game, it was the best. It was creepy, but it was the best. We had that one. We had Super Mario World. We had Nintendo Tennis, and we had Mario Paint.
Okay.
And that was it. And that's what we had for the entirety of our childhood through high school. Just that. We never had anything else.
They're just being masters at this game. Porky Pig's Haunted, whatever.
Yeah, actually, well, because I used to be really significantly worse than my sister at Nintendo Tennis. And I remember when we were older and I was getting better because I actually played tennis and I had strategy on my side. And we were playing and I was literally about to beat her last point and she shut off the entire system. And I was
Amazing.
But, I mean, are you surprised?
No.
Yeah, that was our life, yeah, because we played so much. And then also, side note, when we would play, like, Super Mario World, because, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was called Super Mario World, but basically it was this cartridge, like a game cartridge, that had, like, 8 different Mario games in it, like, from different years. Like, had, like, Mario, like, 1980, Mario, like, 1982, or, like, Mario 90.
Weird.
And, like, Yoshi's Island. It had, like, different games in it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And whenever we would play, like, the co-op ones where, like, somebody had to be Mario and somebody had to be Luigi, Danielle, for some reason, like, she wanted to give me the lesser of the two, like, the less desirable, but she would give me Mario.
How's that the less
I
desirable?
don't know.
That's the most desirable.
I don't know, but I guess in her mind, she's like, no, Luigi's cooler. You take Mario. So I've always been Mario.
You got it backwards, Danielle.
Yeah, it was weird. Anyways, go on.
Anyway, so the first system, like the first console system we actually had in our own house was the Nintendo GameCube, which to this day, ride or die, that's my thing. I love GameCube so much. But so we got that somewhere in the early 2000s because from what I recall, it was like it came with Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, one of the first games on that platform.
Iconic.
So I think that, it ended up being, like, my parents got it for my brothers for Christmas, and it came in, like, in a bundle with a game. And, like, with the controller, I think. Because I think I recall there being some sort of hesitation to get my brothers an actual console for the house.
Because they didn't want them to be so obsessed with it?
Yes.
Were they so obsessed with it?
Yes. Because, I mean, at that point, the only time we'd be able to really play, like, a console game is
At your grandparents'.
at my grandparents' house, which the Game Boys, there's only a certain amount, Like, you could move around with those. It's not, like... They didn't think that probably it was that hardcore yet, so they ended up getting the GameCube for my brothers. So that was the first one. It wasn't really mine at all. I would play with them because... as one does, you must.
Right.
And I unintentionally became pretty good at Super Smash Brothers because of it.
Yes.
Because let me tell you guys, my brothers were so good at video games, like so good that they would just be beating me left and right. I was consistently, like there were 3 of us playing, I was consistently 3rd place, always.
Yeah.
Like I had no hopes, ever. But then when I'd play like my brother's friends, I'd be like sweeping.
Right. So basically, they were like your senseis, and they were just like training you for future battles.
They Mr. Miyagi me.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, so like that was really fun. And then my own personal first console was actually not until last year when I got the Nintendo Switch.
Which is your favorite console, right? Or your favorite like system?
Well, the GameCube's still my favorite, really, because it has my favorite games on it.
Oh, for sure.
But I really do like the Switch.
Okay.
The Switch is very enjoyable for me, mostly because it's both, a console and a handheld.
Right. Yeah, that is a very cool aspect of it all.
It's very versatile, but
For sure.
It's the first actual like at-home console thing that I bought, which was a big step for me.
Yeah.
I was
towards the nerdiness.
Coerced into buying it
By who?
by one of my friends from work.
Okay. Okay.
I was
Anyway,
hanging out with them. It was like, hey, it's
buy
time.
this. It's time to buy this. Yeah. For me, I mean, obviously, I said that the Super Nintendo, whatever it was our first at-home console, like me and Danielle. But the first console that was like mine wasn't until I think it was freshman year of high school, and I bought the Xbox 360. And I bought it because, well, okay, here's the thing. I first played video games, like actual, like not those 4 specific video games. Like I played Halo on Thanksgiving at my aunt's house with my cousin Adrian on his Xbox. And okay, we're gonna have a lot of conversation coming up because I saw your notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I played Halo on that, and I was like so into it. I was like, this is the most fun game I've ever played in my life. And then shortly thereafter, I would be at Amanda's house a lot, and she had an Xbox 3. No, I think she just had an Xbox, and we would play Halo all the time and Guitar Hero. And from there, I was just like, I need an Xbox. So I got an Xbox 360, and I was completely obsessed with it my whole like freshman, sophomore year. I would just be playing, like I would come home and I'd be online with like Kenny and like my friends, and we'd just be like playing online like whatever all day long. And then but I didn't have my first handheld, and this is funny. I didn't have my first handheld game until like ever, like no GameCube, no Game Boy, anything until I think it was sophomore year of college.
What?
And it wasn't even mine. It was one of my exes. He had a 2DS.
Okay.
And we had gone to Mexico together, and he brought it, and he was like letting me play like Mario Kart, and he had like Nintendogs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so into this. And then after that, he's like, I don't play that. Like, you could just keep it. And so I like kept it, and I played it all the time, and it wasn't until we broke up. He didn't even ask me for it back, but like I felt bad. And so I was like, you know what, like here, take your 2DS, because I don't feel right keeping it. But that was kind of my first, and other than that, I've never had one. I mean, my husband now has a Switch, but that's his.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, I'm sitting here thinking, because I'm such a nitpicker sometimes, I'm just kind of like, is the 2D version of the DS called the 2DS? Because I know there's a 3DS, but I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that's just the DS.
I don't know, the DS2, that sounds wrong.
Because, was it the original DS?
No, it was the second one.
Oh, I don't know. Because here's, like, my background with, like, handheld games, like, I didn't have, like, a regular, like, Game Boy or Game Boy Color. I started out in the Game Boy Advance. And then I had the Game Boy SP. And then I had the DS.
Okay.
And then I kind of fell off the map for a while.
Because the DS is the one that, like, flipped up, right? No, so this was the second one, the second generation that was, like, it was, like, this tablet that had 2 screens on it.
Oh, weird.
I'm pretty sure it's called the 2DS.
Oh, it probably is.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was. But anyways, so what were your favorite games on those systems?
So, Nintendogs was pretty good. There's actually, I really liked for the Game Boy Advance. I think it was just, or maybe it was for the SP. Anyway, there was a Sims game.
Ooh.
It was Sims Herbs.
Herbs? Like
Herbs.
HERBS?
URBZ. Herbs. Like, it's supposed to be short for, I think,
urban.
Like, urban, yeah.
Oh, got it.
It was the most fun game ever. I spent so much time playing this game. Like, the whole idea of it, like, it's not like Sims, like how we play on the computer, because we both have the Sims 4 on the computer as well.
Okay.
But it's not like that. So, what it is like, you move to this, like, urban city, I guess.
Okay.
And
As the title would suggest.
So, you move to the city, and, like, you kind of, like, you get a job as a janitor.
Like, you have to?
Yes. You have to get, because you have to follow a certain storyline.
Interesting. So it's more, okay, go on.
So, like, you start out, like, you get this job as a janitor, and then, like, you see, like, that there's a sinister plot happening.
Yeah.
And you end up getting arrested when nothing was your fault. Like, you end up getting arrested, and then, like, the officer is kind of, like, fine, I'll let you out, but, like, you know, you have to prove to me, basically, that you're not, like, some, like, bad kid or whatever.
Okay.
Like, you're kind of on parole or whatever.
Okay.
So, like, you have to get a job, and, like, you have to, like, move into a house and whatever. So, basically, like, you're able to make money doing different things, and, like, you can buy different places to live, like, depending on what kind of, like, money you have. Like, there's certain, like, Sims that are always walking around that you could, like, be friends with, and you do errands for them. And basically...
Is it the same Sims that, like, you get in the, like, the actual game, like, the Goths and all them?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I don't think so. I mean, it's been 1,000 years since I played it, but also I didn't...
I'm like, tell me everything.
But also, I didn't... I actually still have the game, so we can play it.
Ooh.
But I also
Game
didn't...
changer.
I didn't play the computer Sims back then, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
don't
just
think
a tangent real fast, because I don't think we'll circle back to it. But I played the original Sims. I played Sims 2, I played Sims 3, and now I'm playing Sims 4. So, like, I've seen, like, the transition.
You've seen some things.
And I remember, like, the Sims 1 being, like, it was a trip. Like, it was, like, playing, like, Sims 4 and then playing Sims 1, you're like, what is this nonsense? But, yeah, I was a big simoleon. Well, that's the currency, right?
Yeah, that is.
Simite?
I don't know.
I don't know. I like
But
Sims.
basically, is, like, you have to... basically kind of beat the bad guy. Like, you have to expose his plot and whatever and, like, stop the bad guy from doing bad things.
Right.
But, like, you also get, like, inducted into... Like, there's 4 different groups you could be a part of.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that they're gangs, because that wouldn't be correct.
Okay.
But, like, you could
Cliques?
either... Yeah, kind of cliques. So you could be... I don't, like, quote me on these, but, like, I know one of them was a streetie.
Streety. Okay.
Yeah, so, like, streetwise sort of people. One was an artsy one was nerdy, and then one was, like, rich or something. So, like, you had to become a part of a specific group.
I'd become a part of the rich one.
And then there was, like, people that belonged to each group, and, like, they like you better or worse, probably based on, like
I
you,
see.
like, you have to go up and talk to them, and you could
sorry.
relate better to them, like, if you're a part of, like, their group or whatever, or you could try to appeal to them if you know what group they're a part of.
Oh, I see. So it wouldn't necessarily be that, like, whatever you choose, that's, like, who you become, but it's more, like, who you socialize with?
Yeah.
I see.
And then, like, you could have, like, relationships with them as well. Like, you could, like, date them.
Okay.
Or at least, like, there is, you know, just like there is in Sims, like, a like and a love meter, like, there's the same thing.
Interesting. Okay. And what year did this come out, or what year were you playing this?
I don't know. Somewhere probably in, like...
I'll have to do some fact checking
the
later.
late 2000, early 2010s.
Okay.
That area. I do have it, so we can play
revisit
it.
it.
Because
Okay.
you'll be like, this is such a trip. But,
Got it.
Yeah, anyway. But as far as, like, my favorite system, for real, is GameCube.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and you remember this, like, about me in college, like, I brought, like, my brothers, when they moved on to bigger and better things, well, my older brother stopped playing video games, really, and then my twin brother started playing, like, Xbox, which I hate Xbox. We're going to fight about this later.
Me and Jake would get along. Yeah, I know. I saw the notes later, and I was just like, oh, Alex.
But anyway, so I really like GameCube, and both my brothers were, like, moving on to different things, so they kind of left the GameCube behind, and I took it with me to college.
You're like, this is my time. This is my
so,
opportunity.
Like, we played I think one of her favorite games on the Switch, and then one of my more so, like, secondary favorite games on the GameCube was we were playing Mario Party a lot. We played Mario Party 5 and Mario Party 7 on the GameCube, because that's the ones that I had.
Yeah, 5 was the best.
It really is. I love 5 so much. But so my favorite game, though, of all time, which people who love Legend of Zelda will definitely fight me over, like, for certain, like, me and my brother were just, like, arguing about this the other day, is I love Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Okay. I have not played Legend of Zelda games, unfortunately. But I remember watching you play it.
Yes.
And then I remember asking you, because you were, like, beating the final boss when I was watching. And I was just like, oh, gosh, like, do you know how to do this? Like, have you done this before? You're like, yeah, I've beaten it, like, 7 times. And I'm like, oh. You're just playing it for the 8th time.
I restarted it again recently, actually.
Oh, my gosh. That's
like,
funny.
I've gone past the first island already. Like, the first island that's a whole... I'm not going to go into it because it's a whole thing, but, like, I'm at Dooku Island, which you won't really...
Dooku?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Something like
Name.
that. Anyway, so that's my favorite game of all time, is that game, because it's so enjoyable to me. I love it. And I think that it also has a lot to do with, it was the first game I was able to beat by myself.
By yourself, yeah. So it has, like, nostalgic value.
Yeah, so I was, like, so terribly bad at video games when I was younger, and I'd get bored, so I'd be like, if I wasn't able to beat something, then I'd be, like, handing my controller off to my brother and be like, beat this for me?
For sure.
So, like, that was the game that I first, like, beat, and then I love Super Smash Brothers, especially Melee.
See, and here's another thing that we disagree on, and I know this is I've never met a person with the same opinion as me. I hate Super Smash.
Yes, you do.
I hate it with a freaking passion. I cannot stand it.
We could talk about this in the hate
We'll talk about this in the hate section.
We'll unpack that comment. Anyway, So my honorable mentions, I think, for, like, GameCube games, though, is Mario Party, which we already talked about a little bit, and then Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay. I never played Super Mario Sunshine. What is that?
So it's a game where Mario is, like, going on vacation to, like, Delfino Island.
Okay.
And, like, he's with Peach and whatever, and, like, they get to this island, and then they're, like, attacked by, like, this paint monster.
Oh, okay. I know what this is.
And then, like, the bad guy is impersonating Mario, but it's a paint version of Mario.
Yes, I remember
So
this
then,
now.
like, all the people at Delfino Island are just like, hey, why are you graffitiing our island with all this paint and whatever? Like, you need to clean it all up now.
Right. Yes, I remember that now. How fun.
Yeah, that was
I
a
never
pretty
played
good
it.
game.
I mean, I like the Mario game, so I feel like I would like that.
Yeah, it's good. So what about you?
Yeah, so I think if I had to choose a favorite console, it would probably be PS3. And mainly because of the games that were on the PS3, I really enjoyed. A longtime favorite of mine that probably tops it. Like if I ever have to have like a fallback game that's just like I will play this game and no other game ever again, it's Call of Duty, which I know you so strongly disagree with, but we will get to that. But yeah, I think first person shooters for me is so fun, especially like not so much even like the campaign, but like the online playing with people aspect of it is really fun to me. And my very first Call of Duty game was Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And I used to play that all the time. And if anyone remembers it, there was like the Spec Ops, which are like the special operations, whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to play that all the time with like my friend, like on our headset. Like he'd be at his house and I'd be here, and we'd be doing like the one that was, it was like in this winter, like mountainy, snow everywhere, whatever. And you had to like defeat like these dogs and like all the, I don't know, like the people or whatever to get to like the main objective. And it was so fun. And I don't think we ever beat like the top tier, like the highest level or like the hardest level or the hardest version, whatever, because like I would just always screw up because you had to be really quiet. Like the whole thing was like a stealth mission.
Yeah.
And I would always make a mistake, but it was so fun. And then additionally, because of Black Ops 2, I almost didn't graduate with honors. I think I told you this story before.
Wait, from what? From high school? Or
from college. Because of Black Ops 2. Because I was taking in one of my honors courses. It was like one of the last ones I needed. And I never went to class because the class was like after tennis practice, like 2 hours after tennis practice. So then after tennis, I would just go to Elena's apartment, 1 to change and 2 to just wait because I had nowhere else to go. And we would just play Black Ops every single day, like all day. And like I'd be so invested in it, I wouldn't go to class until like at the end of like the semester. My professor called me and he's like, I can't pass you. Like you never go to class. And I was just like, shit. But like I weaseled my way out. But anyways, yeah, it was bad. But aside from that, and I think I've mentioned this, I don't know in what podcast I mentioned this, but I have like this weird ability to just play Guitar Hero really well. So that's another favorite of mine.
Guitar Hero's good.
Yeah, Guitar Hero is really fun.
It's a solid game.
And I'm like really good at it, so it just makes it that much more fun. And my favorite ones were Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, and World Tour. Those are my favorite. And then in addition to that, like you mentioned, I was really fond of Mario Party, Mario Kart, just like the Mario games.
Yeah.
But specifically on the, what is it? The N64, I think it is. Pokemon Stadium.
So we have a fun Pokemon Stadium story.
Do we? We have a lot. But like specifically Pokemon Stadium, the mini games.
Yes. So like that was the big thing that we were doing our freshman year of college. Like us and all of our roommates were really into playing Pokemon Stadium mini games and very competitive about it. Not me per se. I liked playing, but like you guys were all on a different level. And then it was our last night in the dorms. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So we decided, do you want to tell the story? Because we don't have to.
I'm more embarrassed, but yeah, go ahead.
So basically, like it was the last night any of us were going to be in the dorms. So it was decided to play a drinking game out of
Pokemon Stadium
mini games. So me, I didn't drink back then. So I was like, because the whole idea was that you like played like this like decathlon, almost like kind of mini games. And then the first one to 9, was it? What? 1?
Well, I think it went up to like 8. Or you said it. It could be like anything, but I think it went up to 8, and we always did it to 8.
Yeah, so like whatever the max amount of wins was in order to like be the winner, like that's what we had it set to. So basically, everyone who lost in that particular round had to take a shot, which was me taking a shot of Dr. Pepper.
You're such a dweeb.
Yes. And then everyone else like taking actual shots. So it was of no consequence to me because, you know,
But everyone else died.
Yeah, everyone else, like, got wrecked.
Yeah.
Because I think, who was it? Was it you or Tyler who just swept the whole thing? I think it was Tyler.
I don't remember, but I wasn't drunk. So.
Because I don't think, you were in second. You had to have been. If you didn't win, you were in second.
Me or Tyler won.
Yes.
I don't remember. But yeah, and then that was like night. Our 2 girl roommates that were playing like got thrashed though.
Oh, for sure.
Like it anyways. Let's just move on from that. But and then 2 more, just like 2 honorable mentions for me are Minecraft, which I know is so nerdy and I know you would hate it. Which, once again, we'll get into the things we hate about video games. But for me, it's so fun to be creative on that. And, like, I'm really big on, like, just, like, traveling, exploring, creating, like, architectural, like, structures.
Yeah.
So that game's really fun for me. And then also Forza Motorsports, I was really big into, which is a driving game. Mm-hmm. And it's like I was really like interested in creating, like getting my garage to have like really like top-notch cars. Mm-hmm. I really like that game, but like I wouldn't say that like those are the 2 games that are my go-tos. I just really enjoy them.
Yeah. So, moving on then to things in video games that we do not like, which is where we're gonna spend some time, me and Drea, just fighting.
Okay.
So I have to say that first-person shooter games bore me to death.
Okay, but why? Is it because you're not good at them? Because I kind of get that.
Well, I think that's like a part of it, because like any system that I played a first-person shooter game on, besides, I would say, Medal of Honor, which was on GameCube, and I liked Medal of Honor. Mm-hmm. Mostly because there was a cheat that you could turn on, like in one of the Medal of Honor games, where everyone was wearing stupid hats. Like, it turns, like, some of the people, like, it put some pickle suits.
That's funny.
And it was really, really funny. So, like, I liked that aspect. Uh-huh. But, like, I never really got the hang of...
The dexterity of your finger movement?
Well, Xbox controllers, like, controls in general. Uh-huh. Because I never played, like, any of the PlayStation games. Okay. I should say that right now. I don't have a problem with the PlayStation games. I don't really have an opinion about them. For sure. Whatever. But, like, I did play a little bit of Xbox with my brother. And I didn't really like the way the controls were. Okay. So, like, that just kind of annoyed me in general. And I didn't have, like, the patience or the interest to really learn. But, like, I would watch my brother play these games a lot. Mm-hmm. Because he was really into Call of Duty. Really into Call of Duty.
Yeah, everyone is. It's a great game.
And it was just boring to me.
But I feel like maybe it was boring to you because you didn't relate, like you didn't understand like why it's fun, like because you didn't play it.
That's fair.
Because I feel like if you did get a hang of like the controls and you did start getting into it, you would probably like, especially the campaign mode. I feel like you would really enjoy because it's like very storyline, very like you have objectives that you need to complete.
And that kind of like leads into something else here is like, I really hate open world games. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, so, like, campaign, sure, that probably would be more up my alley. Mm-hmm. But things where you're just wandering around with little or no guidance, like, as to, like, what the storyline... If there's no storyline that you're really, like, strictly following, I lose interest really fast because I'm impatient. Mm-hmm. It's like, I want to get to the point what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So, like, how she mentioned earlier that I hate Minecraft. I do hate Minecraft because she had me try playing Minecraft once when we were in college, and it did nothing for me because I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing here?
I mean, I guess it's kind of like, and like I think you've said this in previous podcasts, that you just don't really have that like creative aspect to you.
I don't.
And that's
Not
probably
in that
why.
sense.
Yeah, that's probably why you don't really enjoy it, because you're just kind of like, I want guidance. I don't want to create the game for myself.
Basically, because like I'm creative in different ways. Like I'm a pretty good I've been a fairly decent artist.
Right.
But as far as like that stuff goes, it's just kind of like.
For sure.
But so like one really good example of an open world game that I hate, and I hate a little bit that I hate it, because it's a Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah, the most recent one.
Yeah, the Breath of the Wild for the Switch. Like I got that immediately because I'm just like, oh, Legend of Zelda, sign me up. Mm-hmm. But it's an open world game where like you are following a storyline. However, there's at any point in this game, you are allowed to go challenge the final boss.
Yeah.
which to me is problematic.
Right.
Because in my mind, like, I'm used to video games being like, you have to follow a certain path in order to become the strongest you can be in order to beat the final boss. Mm-hmm. But it's not that way here. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if I told you this, but because everyone at my work is also a nerd.
Okay.
They were making me watch the E3. No, they were making me watch a Twitch stream for, like, some entity was doing a fundraiser of some kind for like charity.
Okay.
So they were doing speed runs of like all these games. Like it was a week straight, 24 hours a day, they were doing speed runs. And different things. So someone did a speed run of Breath of the Wild and you could get that done in 35 minutes. Like that was the block that they had dedicated to Breath of the Wild. And he got it done in 32. And like you could get it done faster. I think one of my coworkers said that the record is like 28 minutes or something.
Jeez.
So that, like, in and of itself, like, suggests to me, it was kind of like, I'm just kind of like, I want to follow a storyline. Like, I stopped playing because, like, if I had too much time in between playing, I'd forget where I was supposed to go.
For sure.
And then, like, the map is just, it's open world, so you can literally waltz anywhere.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
This is frustrating.
I can see.
Get me out of here.
I can see, like, your frustration with that. That's fine. So for me, what I hate about video games is video games where you don't respawn quickly, which goes more to first-person shooters, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, games where you can die. Like, I think it's Call of Duty 3, maybe? I don't know. There's a Call of Duty that... Like, there's, like, a 15-second wait time for you to respond as opposed to, like...
too long for you?
It's so frustrating to me because, like, see, my style of playing is, like, I'm not a camper. Like, I don't just, like, hang out in one place and just, like, strategically, like, snipe off people. Yeah. Like, I'm constantly moving. Like, I'm going through the whole map. Like, who can I, like, surprise, whatever.
I think my brother would appreciate that about you.
Yeah. Well, and so in doing that, it does raise your chances of being shot at, you know? Sure. So, like, there'll be, like, there could be periods where you're going and you're just getting killed off, like, continuously because they keep respawning you next to freaking enemies, which I hate. Yeah. But anyways, and in that situation, if I have to wait 15 more seconds every single time, I'm just like, why am I playing this? Like, it's so frustrating to me. But in addition to that, and this is also the unpopular opinion in my eyes, I think Fortnite is the worst.
I think it's dumb.
Because, well, the thing is, I don't think it's dumb. I like the idea of it, but the fact that, like, I feel like when I play it, I spend the entire time just gaining resources just for me to die in 2 seconds and then having to, like, do the whole thing over again, like, waiting to, like, go into a lobby, getting the resources again, and then dying. It's just, like, it's so stupid to me, and I'm just like, this is not what I'm here for. Especially people who, like Aaron, for a while, my husband, he was, like, training, whatever, and he would drop into Tilted Towers, which is, like, the heavy populated area that everyone drops into, so it's, like, you die off quickly. Yeah. Because I guess he wanted to, like, improve his... I don't know. He had, like, a theory behind why he was doing it for a while. But it was just him dropping and dying, having to wait. Dropping and dying, having to wait. And I was just like, I don't know why you're doing this, but I could never. It's so dumb to me. But so that's something that I hate in video games. And in addition to that, I didn't write it down here, but just really quickly to go back to my comment on why I hate Super Smash Brothers.
Right.
I have a really hard time, like, my biggest flaw in playing video games, and I think just in life, honestly, is, like, is my, like, ability to not fall off of things. Yeah. So, and the thing is that, like, that's how you die in Super Smash, is when they kick you off.
Yes.
And
you either get launched or you fall off of things.
Yes, and, like, that's my biggest problem is that, like, I don't know what it is, like, the coordination or something. When I'm falling, I cannot recover. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't compute in my brain. She bodies
herself, basically.
Yeah, like, I just kill myself. So it's so dumb to me. Like, why am I playing this if I'm just killing myself?
See, I think, what's fair between the two of us is that I probably don't like the Xbox first shooter games because, like, I don't understand those controls. Whereas on the flip side, you don't like Super Smash Brothers for the same reason.
Yes, exactly.
Because me and her husband will play Super Smash Brothers together and we'll try to rope her in as well. And she just hates it because she hasn't gotten the hang of playing yet.
But the thing is, I've been playing my whole life. It's not that I haven't gotten the hang of playing. Like, you don't play first-person shooters. No. So, like, you don't have the ability to gain those skills. Yeah. I have been playing this since I was like in elementary school because like my neighbors had it. And we would play all the time. Like I played on every system. This problem? I've always had this problem.
That's really weird.
I don't know what it is. It does not compute in my brain. When I see myself falling, it does not compute in my brain that I need to recover.
Okay, because I'm just kind of like, that's the thing. I'm just like, you jump.
I get that. Like you can tell me that. You can tell me that till you're like black and blue in the face, and like I get it. But in the moment, I'm just like, ugh.
You just let yourself fall. Like, oh,
yeah,
no.
Like my brain just shuts off when it's happening, and then once I'm like at the bottom, I'm like, oh, I should jump, and that does nothing.
That's really funny.
So that's why I hate it. Ugh. And just in general, and sorry,
no,
just in general, and I know this sounds terrible, like it sounds very like unsportsman-like, whatever, but I hate games I'm bad at.
Yeah, I understand.
Whatever. So that's why I hate that. But lastly, the one thing I hate about video games, which my husband loves, probably favorite thing about me, which is something I hate, is that I'm very, very and I think it's because I'm competitive.
Yes.
But I'm very susceptible to like raging, like rage quitting, rage yelling. I don't know, just raging in general when I play video games. And like Aaron, his all-time, if you ask him, like his all-time favorite memory of me when we were starting to date was me playing the game Dante's Inferno.
Oh gosh.
And he will beg me to this day. He's just like, please play that game. I just want to watch you play that game. And it's because when we started dating, we were in his room that he was renting, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go take a shower. So he went to the bathroom that was like next to the room. And so he left me in his room, and I was just like, like this seems like a fun game. I'm gonna play it. And so I popped it in, and I was like playing it, and literally he was just dying the whole time in the shower because he was laughing his head off because he just hears me in the next room, like literally just nonstop the entire time he was showering, just like screaming profanities at the TV, just nonstop, just like this like never-ending stream of just like, you know, because and this is also the thing, I really love to challenge myself.
Yeah.
So I put the game on the hardest mode. And I'd never played it or anything, and I probably hadn't played video games for like a period before that.
You done did yourself.
But this is the thing, is that I'm so competitive that like I refuse to lower the difficulty or to just quit it. So like I'm just like I'm literally there like on the same levels trying to beat it like 20 times until I finally get it. I'm just like, I'm gonna get this stupid game, you know, like I'm ready to throw the controller through the TV. And like I did, like I kept on beating the levels, but like it would take me like 20 tries to beat each level. And so just imagine that, like me just screaming at these characters like, don't do this, you know, it's nuts. And so that's something that I hate about myself, but everyone seems to love about me.
Because it's funny.
because it's funny, but I'm just like, God, it's so embarrassing. I hate it.
Well, I think it's funny to a certain extent. I think I would find it funny when you do it. Like, I had an ex-boyfriend who would rage out about, like, video games and things, too. And I found it, like, the most unattractive thing ever when he was doing that. Because, like, he actually, like, I get told, like, he threw a controller at a wall before.
Oh, really?
And I was kind of like, I'm not into that at all, but I think watching you do that would be just so funny.
See, I think this is the difference. Is I can't speak to how he was, but I am raging in the moment. But as soon as I get taken out of like the video game itself, like if I turn and interact with anyone in the real world, it's like I'm not upset. Like I'm not upset actually.
That definitely does help.
It's just towards the game, I'm so furious. But towards anything else around me, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I think that's what makes it so funny, is because like everyone knows I'm not actually being affected by it, but it's just like for whatever reason it's triggering me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So now moving on to a topic that is very real in our lives, even today, in a very quasi-shameful way.
Quasi, more like absolutely.
So here's the thing, is that we both play Pokemon Go. So on your phone, if you don't know what this is, I don't know how you don't know what it is, but if you don't know what this is, it's a phone app where you can catch Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah, you catch them, collect them, battle them, whatever.
So, did you first start playing when it came out too?
Yeah, so, I started playing in the very beginning.
Yeah, started playing in 2016 when it first came out. It was right after I graduated from college, like a month later. Started playing it. Back then, there wasn't a lot to the game.
Yeah, it was just more like the collecting aspect.
Yeah, because, like, then more so, I think that the game was, like, more strict on certain Pokemon would appear in certain kind of, like, geographical areas. And then it got boring because if you're in the same area all the time, you're just catching all the same stuff, and then like who really cares?
Yeah, exactly.
So stopped playing it a couple months, like maybe like 2 months after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I stopped playing pretty quick because I just got bored. Like it was just like, it wasn't interesting to me. It was taking up a lot of my battery.
Yeah.
And then I got dragged back into it by coworkers in April of last year. Mm-hmm. And since then, like when I quit playing, I think it was level 15. Mm-hmm. And now I'm level 38.
Which to anyone who doesn't play it, they're just like, that doesn't seem like that big of a jump. But it is.
Because, like, it's ridiculous, really, but it is. Because you have to, like, gain a certain amount of experience points in order to, like, go up levels. So, like, for me to get to the next level, I have to get 3 million experience points.
Yeah.
Which
just
is
from, like,
pretty
one
gnarly.
level to another.
Yeah, for me to get to level 39, it's going to be...
Never.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I also played in the beginning very actively. I remember I threw a kickback, and it was at that kickback that, like, all my friends were just like, hey, you guys play the new Pokemon game? And I was like, what? And then from there is when I started. And it was really convenient for me to play because at the time I was living in my apartment with Aaron, and our apartment reached 2 Pokestops. So, like, we were constantly just able to, like, spin it, put lures, like, we were catching all the time. So I played for, like, a good 6 months, I would say, until, like you said, I got bored. Because I was still playing when they introduced the 2nd gen.
Okay.
So I saw, like, that transition. But I think it was during that time that, like, I was just like, I'm so over it. Like, I don't care anymore. So I stopped playing, and it wasn't until maybe, like, it was like September last year.
Yeah, it was a couple months later.
Yeah, September of
After I
last
started
year
playing.
probably. That you and Aaron, you convinced Aaron to get it again, and then both of you convinced me to get it again.
Yes.
Which is infuriating to me because Aaron doesn't even play anymore.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like because of my work schedule and just in general, I feel like I'm not able to put as much effort into it as, like, the normal person, but I feel that I play enough to be above, like, just, like, a novice.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, in this limbo.
Yeah. So basically, we are more than just, like, your average casual player. Mm-hmm. Is what Drea is really getting at here. So, like, one of our friends, one of her really good friends, is, like, super into this game. He has 2 accounts. They're both maxed out at level 40. Mm-hmm. He is, like, as into the game as anyone has ever been. So, like, that's, like, on that scale. Like, he's, like, a pro player, really. I'm, like, below him. But I'm not, like, real as far as, like, dedication to the game goes. Like, he's on a different level. But, like, I'm just, like, somewhere below him. And then she's below me somewhere. Like, dedication and time spent on the game.
Yeah.
So, like...
So, with the people that I'm interacting with, I feel like a noob. But if I talk to anyone else and I'm telling them, like, the things that we're doing, they look at me like, you have a problem.
Yeah. So
and I'm just like, I don't. I really don't.
So, to give that some context, like, there have been a couple of occasions, because, like, something that really, like, grabbed our attention when we got back into the game was, like, you could do raids in the game where you could get, like, more powerful Pokemon. Like, if you all battle it together, you all get a chance to catch it. So, like... There's different levels of raids. The top level raid, you always get a legendary Pokemon from. Mm-hmm. So, whenever a new legendary Pokemon comes out, and especially if it has a shiny variant, which a shiny variant is basically like a different color variant that's rare. Mm-hmm. We always try to get that. So, like, there have been multiple occasions where me, Drea, and then our friend have gone out raiding at 6 a.m.
On a Saturday.
Yes.
And we just, like, trail like a caravan of other people doing this, like, going around the city to different raid spots and, like, doing it for, like, 2 hours in the morning.
Yes. So that is quite a bit of commitment.
Yeah, and I think that concept entirely, when I tell that to other people, is what makes them look at me like, you have a problem, you need to stop. And I'm like, I'm the least person invested in this. Like, talk to all these other people.
Yeah, because, like, for example, like, I've gotten to a point in my gameplay now that, not that I'm, like, such a great, like, player, because I don't think that either. Like, I don't care. Like, there's PvP, so player versus, like, player, like, battling that you could do, which I don't care about at all. Mm-hmm. Really don't care, which our friend really does.
Really does.
So
we don't care.
Anyway.
If anything, the only thing I like about the PvP stuff is like battling baby versus baby because I think it's funny.
We'll do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if we need to do a PvP just to get like items from it or something, like one of us will throw up babies.
Yeah.
So like baby Pokemon that have like no like combat points really at all.
Yeah, it's just like one hit and they're gone.
But anyway, so like I'm to the point now where like my first gen, I have all those Pokemon.
Mm-hmm, me too.
Don't need to worry about that Pokédex anymore. Like second gen and third gen, I'm only
like
missing
4.
regionals. And fourth gen is kind of just like whatever. I'm taking my time like doing those because who really cares? Like
Right.
you need to give yourself some reason to play.
Exactly.
But like other than that, like I think that we've achieved a certain level of playing because mostly we're just shiny hunting at this point.
Which here's the thing about shinies. I'm convinced that there is something like checkmarked on my account that says this account will never get a shiny legendary. I'm convinced. Because I've done, like Alex said, we've done raids. We'll do like 7 raids in one day. And this is like, over the course of the past like year or so, continuously. And I have never gotten a shiny legendary.
I will say
BS.
that the odds of shiny legendaries do not seem to be on your side.
No.
Because I will at least get one shiny legendary, it seems, like per legendary that has come out for a while now. Like, I think all the shiny legendaries besides 2, maybe, that are out right now, I have.
Yeah, I have 0. I have not a single one. And the thing is that, like, Hose, for example, that's my real triggering point because I did a ton of raids when Hose were in raids. But then they were also a research task, which is, like, at the end of the week, if you complete certain tasks, you get a legendary. And they were in that you were able to get it for, like, 2 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And in that period, I probably, or, like, everything combined, I probably gotten close to, like, 25 Hose, and not a single one has been shiny. And I'm going to shoot myself in the face right here.
Whereas the past 2 weeks, I've done my past 2 research rewards because, like, you just had to get consecutive, like, tasks done every day. Both my research rewards for the past 2 weeks have been shiny Pokemon.
Yep. So
And it's like,
I'm convinced.
Here's the thing, though, is that you find more shinies in the wild than I do.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because you have, like, just regular Pokemon, you have more of an array, I think, of shiny Pokemon.
Maybe.
Because,
But I'd rather have legendaries.
You just got the Cubone the other day.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm still hunting for a shiny Cubone.
know.
I'm still trying to get... Like, you have second shiny Pokemon, because, like, it's all odds. Like, every so many clicks, which it could be, like, hundreds of them, like, hundreds of taps, like, on these Pokemon, you're supposed to be able to encounter a shiny at some point. The numbers are there. And your numbers are just better than mine.
Yeah.
In that sense.
I think the craziest one for me was Pineco. Because
Yeah.
I got him in, like, I got a shiny Pineco, and then 4 Pinecos later, I got another shiny Pineco.
Exactly. I'm just kind of like...
That was crazy.
The odds of that.
I don't know. Anyways.
Pretty crazy. So I'm lucky in the sense that I usually get a shiny legendary. You are more lucky with just random spawns.
Yeah.
Whereas our friend just gets
everything. So
he just gets it all.
whatever. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up everything, right? Or do you want to add anything else?
No, that pretty much wraps it all up. We like our video games. I really want to beat Legend of Zelda Wind Waker again. I'm trying so hard to play, but it's just so difficult to get there.
Yeah, the next video game I think on my agenda is the new, and I know that people probably weren't that excited about this, but I'm very excited about the Ultimate Alliance that's coming out.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be the next one that I play.
That and, for me, Luigi's Mansion one that comes out on Switch. I'm just like, dope!
Anyway, all right, so
Hopefully
hope you guys
found
enjoyed.
entertaining.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.